Hi, my name is Naveen Singri. I'm a physician. I'm a nephrologist with Ohio Kidney Consultants, and I work at Ohio Health.
How did you get involved into the field of medicine?
My father was an internist at the VA in Dayton, therefore I always had medicine in my life. So in high school, medicine really intrigued me because of my exposure to my father. However, I wasn't 100% sure. So when I went to college, I was still debating between medicine or a different career.
What were your grades and stats in high school?
Back then, we didn't have all the credited scores that you guys have now. I think I had a 4.1. And I was ranked number 17 in my class out of 625. I did pretty well on the SAT and ACT test as well. So yes, I had pretty good grades in high school, but I also worked really hard to get those grades.
What things did you consider when looking for a college?
Initially, I looked at state schools to be somewhat close to home, but I actually wanted to go to Duke University, North Carolina. At that time, Duke was considered, obviously a really, really good school, and I liked their college basketball team. Unfortunately, my grades weren't good enough to get into Duke. Therefore, I decided to go to Ohio State. It was an hour away. I had several of my high school friends who went to Ohio State, and I'm a diehard Buckeye football and basketball fans.
What did you study in college?
I still wasn't 100% sure I wanted to do medical school, so I wanted to have a backup degree in case medical school didn't work out, either because I didn't get in or because I chose a different career. So I actually was a little bit different at Ohio State. I actually majored in economics and did the honors program at OSU. My thought was I'd either become an investment banker on Wall Street or go to medical school. My senior year, I had to make a choice, and I decided to apply to medical school, and I did get into medical school and decided to go instead of going to Wall Street and becoming a banker.
Where did you go to medical school?
So I actually did early decision to medical school at Ohio State, and I didn't get in, so I was pretty upset about that. And so I then had to go through the regular process, and I got into Cincinnati Medical School right away. So I took the spot there, and then 2 weeks before med school started, I got a call from OSU Med School saying, "Hey Naveen, we have a spot opened up for you." As people started declining their admissions. Back then you could hold 5 admission letters and not tell people till the end. That's different now. So by the last month, people started saying no to schools. I was on the wait list for Ohio State. So the most stressful part for all of us was match day, which was sometime, I think, in early to mid-March. You rank where you want to go, what specialty on a computer-based system. You've applied to these programs by essays, applications, pictures, and they may interview. They interview as well, and then you put in a match list. Each program puts in a match list, and a computer kind of figures out who goes where. Very stressful, but on match day, we all gathered in our lecture room with our favorite professors, all 175 of us. And then one by one, they called you to the front of the whole room. You would take your envelope and you'd announce where you'd be spending the next few years of your life doing residency.
What was the process after medical school?
So I matched in internal medicine, which is general medicine. I matched in Chicago at Northwestern. I've always been an Ohio kid, and I wanted to go to a big city, so I was excited to be in Chicago. I went there for 6 years for my training, downtown Chicago by Michigan Avenue, Water Tower Place, Lake Michigan. I had a great time there. In your residency, you do a lot of learning, training on the job. I then did a fellowship in nephrology, which is I'm a specialist in kidney medicine. I'm not a surgeon, so patients with diabetes, high blood pressure, genetic conditions develop kidney disease, kidney failure. Often they need to go on dialysis or things like that. So that's my specialty that I did at Northwestern Chicago, and then I came back to Columbus for the job with my practice that I've been there for 19 years now. Overall, it's been a long road. 4 years undergrad, 4 years high school, 4 years undergrad, 4 years medical school, and then 6 years of training as a resident and fellow. So you can imagine, all the time you put in training, you finally come out and then get a job. But you're always learning. Even now, 19 years later, so much has changed since I was a resident and fellow. So you're always learning new medicines, new diagnoses like COVID, new agents for cancer and with chemotherapy. So an exciting part of what I do is that then my job's not stagnant. I have to be on top of my game and keep learning to help my patients. Thank you.